Now here's a question for you. How do you top the model often referred to as the best car in the world? If you're Mercedes, you shorten the chassis, sharpen up its performance, give it even more cutting-edge technology and unleash the full creative talents of your design team on it to come up with this, the rather beautiful S Class Coupe. It's based on the S Class Saloon, something we at Car Buyer are big fans of, and it's designed to match the speed, the luxury and the exclusivity of a Bentley Continental GT or maybe an Aston Martin DB9, whilst offering even more comfort and more technology, all for less money. Sounds good, doesn't it? You can't deny that this is an extremely pretty car. Its powerful, athletic look is emphasised by the 19-inch AMG wheels, yet it still manages to appear sleek and elegant. I think it's fair to say that this isn't a car that's been designed to blend into the crowd, is it? It's got those chunky twin exhaust pipes and this really extravagant front grille. Now this colour is the luxurious sounding cashmere white, and if you want to go for all-out bling, you can opt for a world first, diamonds in your lights. Well, technically speaking, they're not exactly diamonds, they're Swarovski crystals, 47 of them to be precise, and they give, yes, you've guessed it, a crystal clear beam. Now when Mercedes were planning this car, they openly said that they wanted to steal back that reputation for producing wow factor interiors. And sitting in here and looking around, you've got to say they've achieved all that and more. When you're buying a car in this class, you want a few things. You want fantastic build quality, you want luxury, you want lots of tech to make your life easier, and of course you want comfort. And they have definitely achieved all of that. The finish is exceptional. The quality of the materials used throughout is just tactile and wonderful. There's even, of course, a few extra crystals thrown in. Now the elegant layout here at the front makes me feel as though I'm sitting at the helm of a beautiful classic boat. Plenty of the buttons and switches have been carried over from the saloon, but you do get a sporty 3-spoke steering wheel and this really comfortable armchair-like seat. It has extra side supports to keep you in your place if your driving gets a little bit over enthusiastic. Now there are some truly wonderful touches around the interior, just lots of great little hidden storage compartments. And look at this, a centre console, which is an amazing size. It's big enough for an iPad or, hallelujah, a small handbag. That never happens. And one of the things I really like about this is it can cleverly open from the driver's side or the passenger side. It's just brilliant. And just look at what happens when you start the engine. The seat belts spring forward, so they're just there at hand. There's no awkward twisting and turning if you're the owner of this car. And if the sun shining through that panoramic sunroof is getting just a bit too bright, then you can tint it at the touch of a button. Of course you can. Standard equipment is good across the range, with all models getting LED headlights and 2 large TFT screens on the dashboard, electrically adjustable seats, Bluetooth connectivity, satellite navigation and adaptive cruise control. Features like a night vision camera, massaging seats and, as you'd expect, a high-end stereo are all available as options. Need to carry a couple of friends? Well, this might be a coupe, but it's also practical and there's room for a couple of adults back here. Actually getting them in may be a little trickier though. The seats do slide forward, but actually getting in and out from behind the seats is no mean feat if you're quite tall and quite large. Once you're in though, well, of course, there isn't as much room as you'd find in the saloon, but actually there's decent leg room and the sunroof doesn't eat into the headspace the way it does on some cars. So there's still plenty of space in here if you're much taller than my 5'4". Now, storage space and practicality has also been really well figured out back here. There's some great touches. Nice handy storage compartments there in the middle, and this is something I really like. The central armrest folds down and here are cup holders that adjust to the size of cup that you're carrying. The seats are also heated and there are twin Isofix seat points, which of course you need if you're going to carry little passengers. Now this wouldn't be a Car Buyer review without a look at the boot, and while I'd describe the space you get as decent, it's still some way off the S Class Saloon. But it is more than an average family hatchback like the VW Golf or Ford Focus. And that means you'll be able to squeeze in those all-important 2 sets of golf clubs, or enough bags for a shopping trip or a few days away. Now, as you'd expect from a model based on the Mercedes S Class Saloon, the S Class Coupe is one of the most comfortable cars you can buy. The clever Magic Body control scans the road, allowing the air suspension to effectively neutralise lumps and bumps in the road, while these contoured seats are just so supportive and comfortable. Now, the great news is that it doesn't sacrifice speed and handling for all that comfort and luxury. It ticks all of those boxes with ease and is great fun, not to mention effortless and forgiving to drive. Now, that's due in part to a thing called active curve tilting, which is, I'm afraid, the Marmite part of the S Class Coupe. The system works by using cameras on the front of the car that read the surface ahead and then prepare the car to cancel out any body lean. It's a bit strange because it effectively leans in the opposite direction to what you'd expect, placing you firmly into your seat whilst the car leans into the corner, a bit like the way a skier or a motorbike rider does. None of the engines on offer will disappoint. There are 3 powerful turbocharged petrol engines to choose from, and all make the car incredibly fast thanks to their huge power outputs. On paper, the more powerful S63 AMG model looks like a performance bargain, thanks to its 5.5 litre V8. But in reality, it's only 0.3 of a second faster, and you'd be hard pushed to notice the difference. And the 630 brake horsepower 6 litre V12 S55 AMG is only a fraction of a second faster than the S63, but costs around £55,000 more. We say save yourself some cash and go for the S500. It offers all the power you could realistically need and is whisper quiet on the motorway. Now, as you'd expect, there are lots of buttons and settings that you can fiddle around with to tweak the ride in the setup depending on what your mood is and what you fancy from the car. Or you can let the rather clever car do it all for you. It will adapt its suspension automatically to the road conditions. If you're anything like me, you'll play around, have some fun in it, and then you'll stick it in comfort mode and settle down to appreciate this car for what it really is, which is a fast, effortless and really comfortable cruiser. For the performance on offer, the running costs aren't actually that bad. Okay, compared to a Ford Focus hatchback, 33 miles per gallon is never going to look great. But when you take into account the powerful engines and sporty handling, it's actually pretty impressive. And come on, let's face it, if you can afford the car's list price, high fuel consumption is unlikely to worry you. The S Class Coupe could easily look like an expensive two-door sports car with a luxurious interior and some rather hefty running costs. But when you actually start to compare it directly with rivals like the Bentley or the Aston Martin, it actually begins to look like a bit of a bargain. So if you like the idea of a big luxury coupe, then check out our video reviews of the Bentley Continental GT, click the video icon to watch our latest video, and click the Car Buyer logo to subscribe.